Brilliant. Right. So, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Today, we've got a very special guest and episode. People know me for a while. I've been trying to get a comedian on to talk about comedy as a business and
Right.
how that's changed over the years. I think we've got quite a good one today. Some of you might know him as Little Kenny from
Young Kenny.
Young Kenny.
If we're going to bring up references from 25 years ago, let's get it right. Young Kenny.
Yeah.
The number of people who see me in the street go, "Hey, it's Lion Face." Like, oh, man, I love it. It's my favourite programme. All right, Lion Face. Like, it's not even a Lion Face, is it?
Fuck the rest of the intro.
No,
We
Young
all
Kenny,
know
yes.
who he is. So, Justin Moorhouse, thank you.
Hello, how are you?
Cool. I'm very good, thank you.
Good, yes.
Busy man.
Very
Sounds
busy. So people who are watching or listening to this need to know we're sat in a lovely pub with a roaring log fire.
Yeah.
It's Friday morning.
Yeah.
I feel like either I've come in to do a VAT inspection or I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
When you go in a pub before it's open, it's a weird feeling, isn't it? It's too early for the pub to be open.
Yeah.
Unless it was like a Weatherspoons and then they're all there at 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's for breakfast, honestly, it's not a pint I want.
No. Well, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it. And onto my little Poxy podcast.
Yeah, well, I'm fascinated to see what you want to know about business and comedy and everything else.
Well, I think there's a lot of people that like comedy and comedians and go and watch it and entertained by it, but then people might have an ambition to be one. And like, well, how the hell do you make any money as a comedian?
Well, not by doing podcasts.
No, especially not this one. So, what are you up to at the moment? We'll start there.
So my sort of week is I kind of do my own shows, so I tour. I do about probably 50, 60 tour shows a year on average. Right. I do a tour every 18 months, 2 years. So I'll try and do a tour show once, twice a week.
Right.
So like it's not really a tour, like it's not like May, June, July like a tour. It's spread out across whenever I can get in. I do some club stuff as well. Some nice gigs that I want to do.
Yeah. Kind
of lucky that I don't need to do that now. I kind of just work across the M62 corridor really where I want to go.
Yeah.
I podcast. I got a couple of podcasts. I do some branding work. So a couple of different, like at the moment I've got 2 different brands that I'm working for and with.
Yeah.
And that goes up and down. Do voiceovers. So kind of record commercial stuff and other stuff. What else do I do? And then the sort of corporate work, which is not so much after dinner speaking, but more awards host, conference facilitating, that sort of thing. So yeah, really a kind of mixture of all the things, but really the sort of center of it, stand-up comedian is that kind of thing. I mean, if you want it, it's a business podcast, isn't it? So we can, I reckon probably half my income comes from the business to business world. So that kind of probably what your people who are listening are into, that kind of either an award ceremony or an award or conference or something like that. I do quite a lot. So probably about half my income comes from that. So you've got to think like a business really to kind of fit in, haven't you?
Do you have to do much networking for that? Well, you don't these days, obviously. But
well, no, do you know what? It's a really interesting thing. Do you want to get sort of like deep quick?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So this is a philosophy.
We can go wherever.
Yeah. So I'm 55 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
And I spent my entire life thinking that I'm a imposter syndrome. Most people think that. Most people think what's going to happen when everybody finds out.
Yeah.
Most people think that I'm not quite getting it good enough. Most people think that I'm getting away with it. There are other people that don't, and they're sociopaths, psychopaths.
Yeah.
There's introverts and extroverts, and there's a new thing now called ultraverts. This kind of idea that some people are deluded to the point of financial success. So they have no skill set to be aware of the room, but that's a really good superpower for them.
Yeah.
Because based on limited ability, and I don't mean that in a diminished way, that they use their ability to its limits. So there are people like that. I 5-6 years ago, during pandemic and everything else, had kind of a wobble with mental health, like a lot of people do and did and will. Having some therapy, one thing and another. I don't mind. Like I say in my show, you know, where else am I going to talk about myself? It's a nice little thing. And my therapist said to me, she said, do you think you might have ADHD? Have you ever considered you might have ADHD? And I said, no, I've never thought about that. Why'd you ask? So I said, do you think I have? She said, well, I'm not qualified to tell anyone if they have or they haven't.
No.
But if you haven't, I've never met anyone who displays every single classic sign.
So sitting down and talking.
Yeah.
Get up and have a walk every so often.
So I took that knowledge and obviously then just fed that into my Instagram algorithm.
Yeah.
And spent the next 3 years just reading everything that you can about ADHD and not actually doing anything about it. A classic ADHD sign here. I saw the postman arrive just then.
Yeah.
And it's changed my thoughts because I wait for he's going to come in. I know he's going to come. So anyway, so I thought about it and then I went, I've had a diagnosis.
Yeah.
Which is, thing about ADHD and neurodivergence, especially these days, and it's very prescient in the news at the moment. The health secretary, West Street, apparently is going to be leading a report just are we overdiagnosing ADHD, which people cannot wait to say that we are. People cannot wait.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to say everyone's bullshit.
It's different in my day.
Yeah, you know, same as trans, same as black. But all it's, you know, for the people like that, it's just probably we're aware of it more.
Yeah.
And maybe it isn't a thing. Maybe it's just with different kinds of people. Maybe everyone else who hasn't got ADHD is just a bit weird themselves because that's how I look at it. So diagnosis, went through the process. It's quite it's quite a long time. It takes a while to find that out. Then they give you this knowledge. They give me the knowledge that yes, you've got very, very, very much of you got ADHD and you've got this type and it affects you in this way and that sort of thing. And then for some people, that's kind of like a, whoa, that's amazing. I can do this now. I can do that. I get some drugs or I'll do some therapy. I'll deal with it in a certain way. Other people, it knocked me sideways. It made me grieve for lost opportunities and things like that. And really kind of upset me thinking about my younger self.
Yeah.
In a quite a fundamental way, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Hyde, not a million miles away from here. Very ordinary family background, same as everybody else.
Yeah.
We weren't poor, but we weren't rich. We weren't, you know, my parents were in and out of work. It was the 80s, getting made redundant a lot and, you know, never had anything extra,
Yeah.
you know, but we always had food on the table and everything else and all that sort of stuff. There wasn't really a culture of ambition for the children. There wasn't this kind of idea that, you know, you can be anything you want to be and push that sort of thing. And I think my parents parented in a certain way, which looking back now, I wouldn't have done for me.
Yeah.
But you know, they fuck you up, your mum and dad. You know, they don't mean to, but they in turn were. That's the people never forget about that bit. They always quote, "They fuck you up, your mum and dad," but they were done before, and it's just a cycle of what happens. You know,
how do you learn to parent? Well, it's usually from
your parents.
Yeah.
So gosh, we haven't got long this long to talk about my entire life. But my mum's my mum, and my dad wasn't my dad. My dad was my stepdad, but we called him dad, and he came into our lives when when I was like 6. So immediately it was my dad, and my real dad was around, but I didn't know him. I know where he is. I knew where he was, and it was a really funny. I changed my name. In my opinion, never dealt with properly.
Yeah, that
kind of idea. And you know, we were clean and fed and washed and all those things. Went to school, and I might as well be super honest with you. Was the brightest kid in class, easily, by far, not a problem. I could read before I went to school.
Yeah.
Like everything I've ever learned has come out of a book that I've read. I've never learned anything any other way.
Yeah.
Hand up first, knew all the answers, everything. Loved it. Loved primary school, loved junior school, loved the Scouts, loved everything else.
Yeah.
Loved football, loved playing football. Very happy kid until I was 11. I went to high school, and what I know now is that although I knew all the answers when I was up to an age of 11,
Yeah.
I'd never learned how to learn
Right.
because I'd never needed to because I knew it all. Oh, and then I just got through high school. I never passed any exams. I never got I never got the GCSEs, what they are now. It was CSEs and O-levels when I was at school. Went in for 9. I was in the top streams for everything because I was masking and getting away with it. And I can't even remember ever doing any homework.
Yeah.
Ever doing any homework. I can't remember it. I can't remember ever being in trouble for not doing my homework.
Yeah.
I can't remember bringing a report home that said I had. I just got away with it. It was just,
Yeah.
it just went under the radar a little bit. So I left school at 16 with absolutely no qualifications, no idea what I wanted to do, no ambitions, not one. The only thing I had in my head was an office job.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought, well, how can I get an office job? Now you got maths O-levels.
Yeah.
So we were talking before we recorded. I did a YTS course, and at 16 I was a shipping clerk, and it was great. I enjoyed it, and it was kind of a nice little start to sort of working life for everything else. But then, knowing what I know now, because you work your way back, and I had 38 jobs in the next 10 years.
Right.
I was always getting sacked.
Yeah.
Well, technically, I never really ever got sacked. I could always tell when I was about to get sacked.
So what?
So I find another job. I always knew where the writing was on the wall. I always knew that it was ending for me. And I used to work in sales, and I'm not a salesperson. It's like, I know this now, but you were always, because you're bubbling, because you're mouthy. That's not a good salesperson. Good salespeople don't say anything.
But they always say the gift of the gab, don't they?
Yeah, but that's not selling, is it?
Yeah.
So fast forward to 1999, and I've been sort of married, got a kid, got a job I hated, jobs I was hating, did sales for parcel companies. Not very good at it. I think I probably, I'd have been better at, like, account management. When you just get on with people and have a laugh and is there anything else you can do? And going sorting stuff out for them and problem solving and doing all that. Because that's immediate. You can just get a result and it's good. Bang, 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 bang. But no, that's long term of asking for the order and all. I just hated it. So I used to love comedy. So I used to go and watch comedy all the time. So I was in the car one day going from appointment to appointment, and I heard a conversation on the radio with a comedian, and I just bing, light bulb. I thought, how'd you become a comedian?
Yeah.
So I rang up the Frog and Bucket like I'm in what's that? What's she called out of Wizard of Oz? What's she called? Not who plays Dorothy. What's the actress called? Judy Garland. Like Judy Garland and Mickey Rooney, all going, how do you become a comedian? And they just said, we have a Monday night, you come down, and I just put myself in, and that was it. And then that was 25 years ago. Just went for it, and that was it.
Okay. So
does that answer your question?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot there. A very good friend who fancied being a comedian, and he got on stage and instantly forgot everything that he planned,
of course,
and all he could remember was jokes that weren't very appropriate at the time.
Just added old jokes.
Yeah. Well, it was more. I won't go there, but and there was just me laughing in the background because I found it very funny. But that idea of on the stage, that first thing, did you have any kind of worries, or was there nerves that kicked in?
I had exactly the same worries that I have every night still.
Yeah.
Thousands of shows later, it's still the same thing, and it's just adrenaline. It's what stage fright is.
Right.
It's controlled adrenaline. It's like knowing what can go wrong. You'd be a fool to do anything if you didn't consider what could go wrong and have appropriate steps not to do that. So I was nervous. I was giddy though. I had a few friends in. First one was amazing. And then it was like a drug. Then I thought, well, how do you stop? First one was brilliant. The second one was terrible the week after. I just turned up all cocky. I think I was chewing gum. And then the third week it was all right. So I'd done a great one, a bad one, and an all right one.
Yeah.
And I genuinely remember saying to myself after 3 shows, well, I can't give up now. I'm a comedian. How do you say I used to be a comedian? It's one of the saddest sentences ever, isn't it? I used to be a comedian. Jesus, what happened? how come you're not? How can you not be a comedian? That's like, I used to be a rock star.
Yeah.
How can you not? You'll always be a comedian, won't you? You've been a comedian once. So yeah, so I went for it first. Just went for it. I had a full-time job, and then I just kind of, probably because I was 29 at the time, without being all violins, working class, kind of hard worker.
Yeah.
You know, for all my failings at school and getting sacked from jobs and everything else,
Yeah.
I'm a grafter. Do you know what I mean? I'm into it. When it happens, I'll put the hours in and I'll put the effort in and put the detail in. I'll do that. So did that. And then within 12 months, I had possibly 3 very, very lucky breaks. Really lucky breaks.
Yeah.
Life-changing breaks.
Yeah.
That were real crossroads moments, you know.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carr said it's not a crossroads of life, it's a T-junction. So I could have gone either way with them. And the first one was meeting Peter Kay.
Yeah.
At the backstage a thing. And I knew he was doing this program and he was kind of putting a cast together. And I really wanted to know what it was like to have an audition. I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, I need to know how to do an audition. So I said, oh, can I have an audition? Genuinely thought it'd be great for practice. And he said, yeah. And I remember what he said. He said, yes, because you're the only one that's not asked for a part. Everybody else had asked for a part. So I did the audition, and I'd never done anything like that before. It was really weird, kind of. It is really weird. Even now, auditioning is really weird.
Yeah.
But it was, you read the scripts, you do a thing, and then he'll say, oh, can you do it that way?
Yeah.
So you do it that way. And then they'll go, can you do it sort of halfway in between that way and that way? And you do that. I mean, whether it was good or not, I don't know. I think I know what they're looking for is, especially with non-trained actors, is to see if you can take direction.
Yeah.
So yes, he phoned me that night, told me I got the part, and then life changed, you know.
Yeah.
Whilst we were filming that, this was like in the sort of autumn, winter of 2000, I think, something like that. I was also in the final of the City Life Comedian of the Year, which was a big deal, at the brand new Comedy Store. I had a G-Reg Sierra gear. It was beautiful.
Gear?
Gear, yeah, but it was like a dead old one, but it was nice. I was driving, me and my little brother was going to the final.
Yeah.
And it was whilst we were filming. I was driving through Bellevue, and the passenger window dropped. It came off the thing. So, so I got to the thing, I had to put bag on it and everything else. Got in the venue, and I got there, and they went, oh, we've done the draw. Because when you're in a competition, competition, there's always a draw. You see the running order. And I was like, oh, well, been stitched up here, sort of thing. Looked at the draw, and I was first after the break, which is the sweet spot. It's the sweet spot because everyone's had a good half, and then you back on. Yeah. So that night I had the sort of like gig of my life so far. Great one. I was relaxed. I was not bothered about it because I got there late, stressed out, been filming, doing the Phoenix. Literally filming that day. I was in a TV show.
Yeah.
And won it. Beat Alan Carr. He was in the final. Won that comfortably. He writes in his book, like, then the year afterwards, we were both in the BBC final, and I didn't he won that one.
Different clientele,
yeah. Well, I was on last at that. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to talk about what happened, what didn't happen. And so that night, Don Ward, who's the owner of the Comedy Store, had just opened the Comedy Store in Manchester, and it said, it's apparently people I knew were on the judging panel, and he said, oh, yeah, well, it's obviously who's won it. I'll let you guys decide the runners-up. And off he went, came to find me. And he said, who speaks for you? I didn't know what he meant. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, who speaks for you? Who's your, who's your man? And I genuinely had no idea what he was going about. He said, do you have an agent? And I said, no. He said, well, we very much like to look after you. And
cool.
So they signed me up. So I got Phoenix Nights. I won the thing, got an agent, straight away started to play the Comedy Store within my first year. And I think this is a big thing. I think that one of the reasons why I'm still doing what I do, I don't want to go successful because I don't think I am successful. I think I'm still, growing. But the reason why I think I do okay is an example of that time. So he says to me, oh, right, we'll sign you up, do this. well, I'll book you in for the London Comedy Store next week.
Mm.
And I knew that I wasn't ready. So I knew I'd just say, you know what? I sort of did a bit of a white lie. I was busy doing something. I just needed a few more weeks to get my head round it and get it ready. And so I did. But also at the same time, you've got to remember, I'm in a sort of peer group of a load of people who've all come up at the same time.
Yeah.
And suddenly I've got these three things and elevated, and I'm probably no better than any of these,
Right.
in their opinion. But I'm no different than these. We're still doing the same open mic circuit. We're still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So at that time, I definitely felt this kind of edge from people towards me. And where is this guy? They didn't know me very well. I'd not been around very long. And I kind of, normally in normal situations, school or anything else, that sort of thing would make me shrink and probably go back into the gang and not be part of it. But I think it's because I really loved it.
Yeah.
And I saw it as a way out, that I just ignored it and decided, well, you're given these chances. It's what you do with them.
Yeah.
You know, they're only chances. They're only opportunities. They're not solutions. They're just a way to do it. So, yeah. So I worked really, really, really hard, you know, too hard, you know, got divorced that hard. But I mean, that everything works out for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went for it. And then, you know, I did a couple more things, got jobs on radio and stuff. Yeah, so that's really, and then I haven't stopped since.
Yeah.
I've not had a break since.
No.
25 years. Constant.
I suppose if you're not out,
Constantly never saying no.
So
And here we are.
you got Phoenix Ice really young then. You know, what was it
29.
like?
I wasn't young, but I was early on in my career.
In the
yeah.
career?
Yeah, really, really early, yeah.
Starting later might have helped. But
Maybe. Don't know. People say that to you all the time. We talk about the ADHD thing, and I regret not going to university and not doing this and not doing that, which I easily could have done and
yeah.
possibly should have done. Things might have been different for you, and of course they would have been different. It might have been better. People always go, I might be filling arenas now.
Yeah.
You know, I might be doing that, but you know, you can only deal with what you've got in front of you.
Yeah.
You know, there's no point. I've done my kind of worry about that, and I did go through a period of, like I say, grieving the kind of lost opportunities that maybe if things have been different.
Yeah.
I've been, but I'm quite happy. So
yeah,
that's something, isn't it?
Well,
I'm happy.
main thing, isn't it?
You shouldn't say you're quite happy. It's a bit of a, I am happy. So,
so you fairly soon got the role in a film as well, didn't you? Looking for Eric.
Well, that was a while out. So in between, yeah. So that things was like 2001, and that came out, and it was all really good. And it's a couple of years on that. And I worked on the radio. I did a couple of little tours of my back around the Northwest, really. And then, the Looking for Eric was in 2008. We filmed that, and that came out. That was special, yeah.
I think it's a really good example of male friendship and camaraderie, because there's one scene where you realise that if people don't know, it's essentially a postman that has a hard time and is looking for.
Yeah.
He gets a bit depressed, and his mates realise that he's not good.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where you all go down to talk to him in the sorting office and try and make him laugh and smile. Yeah. It's just the best scene.
Filmed on Brinswain Stockport, that.
Yeah. Oh, really?
in an industrial unit, yeah.
And I just say, I was, that sticks in my mind. And then there's one where you're in the living room and it was all about relaxing.
Trying to get the...
and you're all meditating. Is it John Henshaw?
John Henshaw, yeah.
Taking you through a guided meditation.
Yeah, that's it. And we did all that for real, because that's the thing about working for Ken Loach. It's not. It's a very different way of working. You don't get a full script. You only get a page at a time. Yeah. The cameras are on, and he'll step into the scene while the cameras are running.
Right.
Even it's got film into the camera, and he still will come over and just go, "Why is he?" Something will be happening over there that he's told somebody to do. They'll say to you, Why is he doing that?" So you go, "What do you mean?" You go, "Well, what's it?" So then you sort of bring it up, and it's a little bit of improvising, but you're also kind of, So yeah, it's interesting, really. I think probably very trained actors might struggle to do it that way because they want to know the character's development and how they kind of portray that and that sort of thing. But yeah, it was a great experience, and obviously working with Eric Cantona was very special.
Yeah.
And he was great. You know, he was that thing about never meet your hero. He's superb. He was great with everybody, signed everybody's autographs, and yeah, that was a really positive experience. Yeah, I enjoyed doing that film. Yeah.
I suppose you've got a lot of experienced comedians, and a lot of ad-libbing and things like that, and it seems so natural. And
well, it's very naturalistic, isn't it? And then he also had, it was kind of a really interesting thing because the film is Ken Loach style is, well, it's Ken Loach-esque, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very natural, very real. But then it also has this hint of the magic realism of Cantona appearing, and what is he? Is he a mental health problem? Is he a goat? What is he? It's kind of, so yeah, it was very, and the lead actor didn't know who that he was in the film until he appears on camera.
Right.
So he had no idea, and he just walked out, and then on the screen, Steve Evers, who plays Eric, little Eric, says, "The fucking hell are you in here?" And that's an actual reaction.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a few of those things in the film. In that, if you've seen it, there's an incident in a house with the police.
Yeah.
They didn't know that was happening.
Right. Okay.
So that happened around them.
That's amazing.
Yeah. There's a few things he's done like that. In The Wind That Shakes the Barley, you've seen that one of the characters gets murdered. Well, what happens is one of them gets murdered, and the minute he finishes his scene, they take him straight off set into a car, bundle him away, put him on a plane, take him away, and nobody gets a chance to say goodbye to him.
Oh God!
So the rest of the film, they're all like missing him. So they're going, we haven't seen him for ages. And
one needs therapy afterwards because of
yeah.
But I was wondering whether you'd actually got a script for that.
No,
because if you get the start, if you get
no, you don't get a script
that says this is what's going to happen. You're like,
no, we don't. You get paid today.
High and he sees Cantona.
You don't get told that. He just gets told something's going to happen. React to it. Yeah. We didn't get a script. We got a script on the last day.
Yeah.
They gave us all the script on the last day. So long ago now that I can't remember.
Yeah. What was it like working in Peter Kay?
It's fine. I mean, it was a long time ago. I mean, people generally want to ask questions about Peter all the time because I understand he's fascinating and, he's a very, very famous person. Truth of the matter is I don't know him. I haven't seen him for a long time. Wasn't very close to him at the time, and kind of he's his own person. There is an element of people wanting some kind of like inside track or and there's nothing to say really other than very grateful for that opportunity and what it gave us. And then I mean, maybe it could have happened again, and maybe there would have been another thing. And then people tell you all the time, they go, "Oh yeah, they're making a thing," and they go, "Are they?" I don't, no one's told us. We don't know. And would you be in it? And the answer is always the same. If I got asked to be in it, of course I would be, but I don't know whether I would be in it or not. I don't know. I mean, there's no contracts or anything, but it'd be lovely. But I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things, isn't it? You're in the hands of somebody else, and that's kind of a weird kind of. You don't want to make any kind of things on that. We did some live shows at the arena for Comic Relief about 10 years ago, a little bit less than 10 years ago, and they were very special. 2 weeks of that, all getting together.
Yeah.
We made a lot of money and for charity, and that's kind of the end of it, which it seems like it probably is.
Yeah.
It's a nice postscript. It's a nice finishing off. I interviewed Lenny Henry last week on stage. I was hosting a conference, and he was very complimentary about what we did. Made £5.5 million.
Yeah.
For Comic Relief. So I'd have to get on a bike and cycle around Lancashire or
like jumping
swim a canal or anything. I've done my bit. I genuinely, I feel like I've done my bit.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, it was a lovely thing to do, and we've done our bit, and lots of people enjoyed it. It was good. It was really good. It's a funny thing, really, the Phoenix Nights things, because I don't want to, because I've worked on radio a lot, especially when I worked at Radio Manchester and everything. You'll get an actor who's been in Emmerdale and they're doing sort of Run for Your Wife at the Bolton Octagon, and they'll say, "I don't want to talk about it," and they say, "Oh, you think? Why do you think you're on here? Why do you think you're the one we picked from the cast?" So I wouldn't ever begrudge it. I would never deny it, and I would never be rude about it. Nothing to be rude. It was a wonderful, magical, 6 weeks of my life. In total, 6 weeks of the filming twice. That's 12 weeks. A couple of weeks of the live shows. So that's 40, and a week of rehearsal. So 15 weeks out of a 25-year career, really.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Yes, and it's the thing that's the biggest thing that I've ever done, and I'll forever be grateful. But I do other stuff as well, and I'm kind of
all
right about that.
How long did you have the face paint on for?
Each day. Have you ever seen, I forgot what he's called, this guy who plays Biff in Back to the Future?
Yes, yeah.
He's got a little video called the Back to the Future song.
Right.
It's called Tom something, and he sings this song and talks about people coming up to him all the time going, "What's Michael J. Fox like? He's a nice guy." All the questions all the time. So the questions I get asked all the time are, "What's Peter like? How did you get the face paint off?" Well, I had a wash.
It's just funny that it's not really.
People say, they go, "Oh, I loved watching it, how it faded over 6 weeks," and I go, "It didn't." It was nothing. It wasn't that, because we were filming some scenes out of order. It did not fade. So we have a very small part in a very successful thing, and we're aware of that.
Yeah.
So the time you're needed on set is you're not there 7 days a week. But often you'll be in the first scene or the second scene, so you're getting there early,
right? And
this breakfast is laid on, and all those things are nice. And then if you're there at the end, there's sandwiches and there's lunch in the middle, and that's kind of really a nice thing. There was one day where I was in the first scene and the last scene, and they said to me, "No, you're all right. You can go home in between." And I thought, well, I don't want to, because I've got to take the paint off and then put it back on. That was an hour putting it on every day. And I was like, could be arsed. So no, I said, just hang around. We were just hanging around with your mates playing snooker. Filming in a club playing snooker, playing cards, having a laugh. Hey, we got a bit bored during the day, completely forgot he had the face paint on, and went to the Trafford Centre. Walked around and shot something with the tiger face on, and nobody knew, because the show had not been out. So people just looking at this grown-ass man just going, "Where's his carer?" If I can't have my face painted. I was like, 32, just walking home.
It's nice. He's getting out for the day. So you've been in comedy for a number of years. Let's not do the maths. And the world's changed a lot.
Yeah.
And so I spoke to another comedian who was talking about how people become social media famous very early, and then gone to the Fringe and had a theatre sold out, but they struggled to keep the crowd for the 20 minutes, half an hour before.
Funny that, isn't it?
They hadn't done their time. They hadn't learned the craft. And I found that fascinating in terms of,
it is.
How you've obviously seen it all come through, and probably got many stories like that.
I mean, it's the new thing, isn't it? I don't mean it's a new thing. I mean, that's the new normal, as the kind of phrase is that.
Well, crowd work and stuff like that, isn't it? And
well, it's a really kind of contentious, and it's a funny, interesting subject in comedy, this, at the moment. Inside comedy, people are talking about it a lot.
Yeah.
So you'll go to any kind of open mic night, and everyone's brought a camera and they're filming themselves. There's a lot to unpack in all this.
Yeah.
So there are some comedians, and I'm thinking of a few kind of highbrow American, like really good comedians. Mike Birbiglia is one of them. He talks about this, sort of like putting down the crowd work, just going, "That's the easy part of the show. That's the easy stuff." It isn't the easy part of the show. That, a well-crafted, honed hour is like a film or a book or an album. If you've created this piece of work, that's an hour's piece of work that you, and in this country, we often do that using the Edinburgh Fringe as a kind of target, and that's the long form 1 hour's version of your comedy. And then you go on tour with that. In America, they sort of right on the road. They don't do themed shows as much as we do. We're quite themed in this country on our shows.
Yeah.
That's an Edinburgh kind of Fringe problem.
Right.
So they'll go on the road and they'll be doing clubs. They'll be, get what they call in American stand-up getting up.
Yeah.
You're getting up tonight, and they'll get up and they'll do 10 minutes at the Cellar or Gotham or wherever they are in New York or Punch or wherever that is in a comedy store in LA or whatever. Work that way up until they're doing chunks, and then they'll probably go on the road with it, and they'll do feature sets where they're doing 35, 40 minutes, and then they'll grow that and they'll get to an hour, then they'll do their special, and that's their thing, and that's what they do that. And they very precious about that, and very understandably, that's what they do. Then they put down comedians who do a bit of crowd work. Now, if you're doing an hour of I feel sad because my dad died in the end show, and you're all leading up to that point, and somebody shouts out, and then you put him down with a zinger.
Yeah.
And then you film that, you put it on. I can see why that might be seen to be not as adequate. But I think there's a difference between crowd work and crowd work. And I talk about it at the moment on stage, in that I think when I talk to a crowd, I like to have a conversation with them to see what happens, to see if there's anything special in the room.
Sure.
Because some nights it's magic. Some nights things happen that would never happen unless you was talking to the audience and getting to know them. I did a gig in Didsbury. I spoke to a bloke. It was his first day living in Manchester.
Right.
He come from Nigeria. I think he was going to a nurse or something. And I asked him his name. It's his first day from Nigeria, living in Manchester. What's your name, mate? He was called Ayo. I said, of all the places you could live. I said, you must say to people he was called Ayo. And he goes, how do you know my name? Ayo. He was called Ayo. Right. It was brilliant. So I think, what my crowd work is, I think I'm quite warm when I talk to the audience, have a bit of laugh with them, trying not to. I don't want anyone to think that I picked on. This is the other thing they always go, you picked on us, or your audiences are stupid sometimes. Oh, you're heckling. I'm not heckling you. You said something. I'm talking to you, and you've got a microphone, so you're a bit louder, you're more control. The lights are on you. You know what you're doing. You're generally sober. They're not sometimes, and there's all that sort of thing going on. But there's a difference between some of that can only happen in the room and it'd be magic, and that's great. So I like that. I've got a little thing that I'm going to be doing. I'm loath to put it out there yet until it's out there, but I've got so I'm filming everything I do from now on.
Okay.
So I am going to be putting more clips out.
Yeah.
Both of stand-up and bits of stand-up and of crowd work. But I'm going to try and show the audience in a different way, and I'm going to keep my powder dry on that one, so I do it. But it's interesting. They're kind of there's a clip I did on Live at the Apollo that it's about how you buy bedding in Australia. It's called Manchester. People are seeing it. Yeah. And that's been out a couple of times. And when I was doing the Opera House a couple of weeks ago, we put the clip out again. We just repackaged it and put it out again just to say, I'm doing Manchester. Yeah. The clip's been out a couple of times and done a few 100,000 views. Did 1.5 million in a week. Yeah. Out of nowhere. And you think, I don't understand how that happened, why that happened. It just got a bit of traction. It went on the Explore page. That's what happens. But there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn about that, and I'm learning that. I'm very excited about. I can now control my output. Yeah. Because I'm not getting on TV as much. I'm a white, middle-aged, British, boring, straight, beige. Just I'm just everything.
I'm not sure there's anything beige about it.
Do you know what I mean? When I say beige, I don't mean.
I know.
My ethnicity. I just mean I'm kind of like very ordinary, maybe except my neurodiversion. So maybe that's the thing, I couldn't go down that road. But you have to understand that if you've lived a life of privilege, which white men in this country do, then you have to accept that privilege and what else can I do about it? And what I've done about it is I've invested in some cameras and some time, learning some new skills, pointing stuff out, trying to see if I can get an audience that way. And there are, one of the great philosophers of our modern times, Matthew McConaughey. And I love his, but he's a switched on guy. Yeah. And I love how he says no to things. And I love how he says, whatever you decide to do, don't half-ass it. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do with the next stage of the the sort of stand-up career for me is creating clips and putting them out there. And it's not, there are lots of things, and camera people all know all this. It's not really, often the attraction isn't about what you're saying, it's how it looks.
Yeah.
And there's little things that work well, the saturation of colour and brightness and all this bollocks, isn't it? And you're all kind of like, you're all trying to feed that algorithm and that kind of trying to get a secret of it. And people talk about the algorithm like they know what it is. I don't know what no one even knows what, it's like the furlough. Do you remember when people used to say furlough with confidence? But, the algorithm. The algorithm's changed.
Yeah.
You go, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Well, it's just changed, hasn't it? It's the algorithm's just, what do you mean here?
I think, they want people to stay on it. Social media channels. So it's like, well, why would they do that? What would make that thing? Why would they put your bit of content above someone else's?
Yeah.
And it'll usually test it with a few others, with less people first. And if it gets engagement and people watch. Yeah.
Well, you can do that. I have a creator account. So I kind of like have access to those little things that you can do that. Yeah. So you can put a clip out, not to your gang first, just to see if it gets anywhere.
Yeah.
Just time things out. But there are things like I've done really good jokes, filmed badly, do nothing. And I've done jokes that are not as good as that, filmed beautifully, do much better.
Yeah.
And so there's those things. There's the idea of, that kind of, like you put a clip out, you've got to put one out straight away afterwards, and that consistency. It's all about planning, and all about that. And luckily I've got enough content to do that.
So I spoke to another comedian who thought that because they didn't have a social media profile, that they're on Mod the Week and they were doing it.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. You're talking about a mutual friend.
Oh, yeah. I don't like to use his name too much because it's
That's an interesting, because we're very similar kind of demographic and everything else.
People with a bigger following were online on social media were getting more of the jobs, and I feel like, because obviously the producers going, well, they can sell it too. They can talk about it. We don't have to do anything. And I've heard actresses talk about that as well, where they've got roles over someone else because they've got a few more million followers. And
that's the game now, though.
That's what I mean. So
that is the game. That's always been the game, though, hasn't it? That's been the, if you're in a movie that takes $1 billion, and the next movie comes up and it's between you and someone who's never been in a movie, they're going to go with the people that they know. That's show business. And now social media is show business. That's the output.
Yeah.
It's not television anymore. There's hardly any comedy on television.
No.
There's very little.
Death and murder, isn't it?
Yeah, there's and of the shows that are on, there's a very finite group of people they use. They use the same people over and over because familiarity there is, they've got the numbers in TV.
Yeah.
It's not a job of BBC or ITV or Channel 4 or anybody else to break you. They're not talent makers.
Yeah.
They're entertainers. And it's changed. You've got to work hard, and you've got to put your own stuff out. And we own the channels. We own it. We own the screens. Instead of like bemoaning this, celebrate the fact that, you have got the same chance as the next person if you do it right.
And you're the business. And if you ran a business, you'd promote the business, wouldn't you? To me.
Oh, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why, it's a bit like a cafe that opens, You want the audience to see what you're doing. The audience are not looking at the posters in the window anymore. Postcards in the post office are not cutting it. You've got to catch me. Oh, that new cafe's opened in Marple. Well, that looks nice. It's done nice. I might try it. And that's how it works. When you get there, it might be terrible. This is not about any particular cafe bar. But it might be terrible when you get there. It might be.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of things I've tried recently that have gone because of their social media look. But now I'm kind of, I think we all are getting used to what is what looks good and what is really good. Authenticity and warmth I think is the thing that's going to cut through on social media.
Mm.
I think that's the next thing. I think people are going to get sick of slickness, sick of, look at this. I think that kind of, and especially for my audience, because my audience is all 40 plus.
Yeah.
I know my audience. They're not looking for, oh my God, it's comedian. You're going, oh, it was good value.
Yeah.
You know, we could get home easily. You know, it didn't go on too long.
Price of beer wasn't.
It's interesting. My audience, you know, I know now my audience are not city centre audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very much anecdotal, but it's my own evidence, and I've got the numbers to back it up. That my audience. So if I put a show on in the centre of Leeds, it doesn't sell nearly as well as the 4 or 5 I put on round Leeds.
Yeah.
I sell venues out in the suburbs because my audience is suburban.
Yeah.
You know, people my age and older, not me, because I'm a man about town. They don't like going, you know, they don't like the one-way systems. They don't like parking. They don't want to go into town late at night. They're a different audience. My audience would rather go to the Lowry. It's dead easy for them to get to. Parking, loads of that, than go to the Opera House. I know that because I've got my numbers. I've just done both.
Yeah.
In the last, you know, different things. I couldn't get into the Lowry this time. I had to do the Opera House. So then it's affecting my audience.
Yeah. That's really interesting. And it's the same, like, where is your audience if you're a business, and how do you get in front of them more? And perhaps that changes over time.
Well, mine has definitely changed. And my audience is on social media. They're probably not on TikTok. They're probably on Facebook and more and more on Instagram, and sort of that kind of Facebook and Instagram kind of merging of content on both. But that's where we're getting, and that's the sort of thing. And probably my audience are the ones that watched Phoenix Nights the first time round, like listening to me on the radio, you know, and have come with me on that stage.
Yeah.
But how am I going to grow? It's not where's my audience now? How do I grow this audience? And I think it's probably, and I'm not an analyst on this, but I think it's probably more of what I've got. So what do I give? I don't know. So it is something that I'm thinking about at the moment a lot.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about how I go the next way.
Yeah.
Do I want to change my comedy? Do I want to do something slightly different? And I think I do, really. I think the power of the ADHD diagnosis has given me, now that I've got over it and I'm having a bit of medication and one thing and another, has given me pause to think, what's the next thing?
Yeah.
You know?
What do I want to achieve and how do I get there?
It's not what I want to achieve. What do I want to do?
Yeah.
Because I think if I do what I want to do and I do it well, I will achieve. I'm not what I know what I'd like. And what I'd like is the kind of career where I sell out enough theatres a year, nice places, no ambitions of doing arenas. No. I don't want to go. Good job, really.
Yeah.
But you know, that kind of, I don't enjoy that kind of big arena company. Right. It's not for me. I've never enjoyed watching one in there. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I think 1,500 people in a theatre that have all come see you really close, couple of levels, dead close. You on the stage with just a microphone, saying things that you think are funny.
Sure.
Trying to get them all engaged and that kind of, it's a very special place to be, kind of like, spiritually and everything else. There's a real, with you and an audience, there's a real lovely thing that you probably get with other art forms, but comedy's very immediate. I think I'd like to have been a rock star. That would have been great, 'cause I think you can cheat your way through that a little bit. I wish I could do the same jokes over and over again and then do the jokes along with me. That'd be easy. But I'm thinking about that. So I did the tour that I'm doing now, I really like, and it's got a real kind of heart to it. And it's nice and it's good. And the previous one I did, I think was my best ever show. I think it's probably slightly better than this one. But I just think it's, for me, I don't know, maybe it's more polished, the last one. This show that I'm doing currently is got some very personal stuff in about friends that I shot, share in quite a raw way that I probably will not film. because it's really real.
Yeah.
Probably won't put that out as a special, which is a shame, really. But I'll still film it and use it for the clips, but I won't put it out as a body of work, because there's a difference when you buy a ticket and you tell people a story, you explain to them that this is real. If you put that on YouTube or wherever you put it, you can't expect the audience to go with you on the same journey without. It's a very personal story at the end about a very close friend. So probably that. So I've been asking myself the sort of idea of what I want to write next, and I'm writing now is, instead of just going, this is me, I'm 55, this is what I think, I'm going, this is me, I'm in the same world as you, this has happened, how do I feel? So it's a little change of kind of when you sit down to write. You can write at the top of a piece of paper, how do I feel? You write down whatever you're thinking about, how do I feel about that? What reaction does that give me? And then you can kind of create something out of that. I love the idea of doing this kind of proper work.
Is there a moment on stage where you look back and go, that was my
peak?
No, just that's where I felt crescendo of endorphins and happiness and just like, I'm at home here.
Well, there's two sides to that. So that happens quite often, where you're on stage and you come off and you're just buzzing afterwards. It's been brilliant. You drive home and it's great. And there's some nights you come off and you didn't feel it as much as you did, and then you try to work out why that was. Was it the time of the week? Was it the weather? Was it me? Was I tired? And all these things. You remember, you're 55, you've got to look after yourself a bit more as well. You're not as indestructible as you once were. A few years ago now, I did a Hull Truck Theatre. Now it's in the city centre. It's beautiful, kind of modern theatre, but it was in an industrial estate. It was literally in a truck park. And it's very famous. John Godber wrote a lot of his plays for it, and it's a very community-based thing. And I did a show in there. There's like 300 or 400 people all there. The show was great, really good. Loved it, absolutely loved it. And it was one of them where everything was bouncing. You couldn't do anything wrong, couldn't put a foot wrong. I had a few props in that show. At the end of the night, at the end of the show, it was a really, really good one. I came outside and I was smoking at the time. And at the back of the green room, dressing room, there was like a cage where they kept like all the beers and everything else, but you could go and smoke in there. It was outside promo. The audience were all coming in the cars and they're all going, oh, cheers, Justin, thanks. Oh, it's great. Oh. And I was loving it. It was a warm July Sunday evening. It was the day, the Wimbledon final. I listened to that on the way there, and it was kind of this, I remember it vividly. And somebody shouted, so you can come and get your stuff off the stage now, Justin. So I was, right. So I go back in to get my stuff. And I walked in the auditorium and every seat was empty. And I went, oh, they've all left me. They don't like me, really. They're just gone. They're just gone. Knew they're gone. But in that moment, that room had changed from this
amazing
thing to like, and I thought, well, that's how that's when comedians will go to the bar, up the nose, whatever they do, destructive behaviour, because they're looking for that high all the time. You're looking for that, especially with the ADHD, looking for that dopamine hit or whatever it is, however it comes,
I've kept you for a long time.
We're not talking about business, really, have we?
But everything's relatable. I think it's all people, and a lot of people that present in the business world are performing, and it's interesting to hear someone else talk and feeling similar, but so different. And
I get asked sometimes by people who work in business about presenting and about, that sort of thing, because it's for some people it's a big fear, isn't it? Of going on stage and whatever it is, even in front of your team or in front of delegates at a conference or even a wider thing. And there are skills you can learn, and there are people who will teach you them. I'll do that for you. You want to get in touch? You can. I mean, I've done that for people. I've done that as favours for people. And a lot of it is really just understanding that what's the worst can happen. People think that they've seen all these things. Can I just tell you, like, I've been using microphones for a long time. I never picked a microphone up yet that recognises fear, so it makes a feedback noise. Microphones don't understand anxiety. But every time you see them, ladies and gentlemen. So I say to people, I say, just take your time, say less, know what you're going to say, don't have it word for word, write it word for word and say it loads and loads and loads, and then but pick out key phrases.
Sure.
You'll get that out there, and keep it simple. Just keep it short. Do each one as you go along.
Yeah.
I did a conference last weekend for 2,000 opticians, and it's great.
Yeah.
And they're all there, and it's a brilliant time. It's the Hakeem group, and a really good bunch of people. I've really kind of buzzed off doing that conference twice now. I was having lunch on the first day. The young lad there is 18, and he's from Dublin, and he just said to me, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "How do you do that?" So what do you mean? Because you could see he was one of these people that are crippled by nerves and fear about that sort of thing. So I just said, "Don't worry about it. Some people are good at it and mouthy. Some people are not. But some people are really good at listening. And they get on by the listening. Well, I'm not. I'm a reactor, I can't wait to jump in on it. That's ADHD and everything else, but it's also part of your personality and your character. But I said, the worst thing you can do about something like that is worry about it, because it's not, worrying won't change it at all. Fearing it won't change. You just got to do little bits and try little bits. It is weird to think this is what we do for a living, stand in front of a room full of people facing the wrong way, saying things in your head to kind of get a response, an involuntary response from somebody in the audience. It is weird, but I think it's weird to want to do it in the first place.
Right.
I think once you want to do it, then the rest of it isn't weird. It's just natural. I remember I was at a Glee Club once in Birmingham, which is a fantastic comedy club if anybody's in Birmingham. It's really good. One of maybe the best comedy room in Britain, I think. It's beautiful, beautiful. Lee Evans used to go and do his kind of warm-ups there, and he'd get all these, this off-the-curb agency would send all their acts to do stuff, and so you go and see all these brilliant people. And one day, Jack D was there. I think Jack D was doing pantomime or something. We called into the thing, and somebody said, "Can I?" It wasn't Jack. No, it was Lee Evans. Some open spot says to him, "Lee, can I ask you a question?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "What's it about?" He goes, "It's about comedy or some advice." And Lee Evans says to him, "Before you ask me, can I ask you a question?" He said, "Yeah." He goes, "Why did you do stand-up comedy?" So he goes, "Oh, I really like it." And all that. He said, "Do you have to do it?" And I went, "Oh, I don't do it. It's the worst job in the world to do if you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
I have to do it. I can't not be a comedian now." Like, for finances and everything else. But I don't know what I'd do if I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'd give up. I don't know what I'd do instead. I sometimes worry about that. I wake up and I think, and I don't know how it would happen if they took it. I don't know how they could ban you from being a comedian. But I think, well, how would I feed the children?
Yeah.
I don't need to do adults, but how would I pay the university fees still? And how would you do that? I just think it's good. And it's till you do sort of run your own business, don't you? Because you have to do everything. And it's like you run your own theatre company in some ways. You're a comedian because you direct, you write, you produce, you promote, you drive. You have to do everything yourself. Everything.
I mean, it's quite interesting because there's a lot of business owners that are really good at what the business does, but not good at the other things around it, like the finances and management and stuff like that.
I'm lucky that I've got to a point where now I get people to do that for me because I'm terrible at that.
Yeah.
I'm no interest in spending time doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm very lucky that I can afford to get somebody to do that for me now. So that's taken care of now, which is a weight off my shoulder. And I've somebody who works for me that makes my podcast with me. So she's sort of like she does all my clips and everything else. So that's a kind of semi-freelance employee I have, which I don't think I'd cope without her.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Being a comedian, being good on stage doesn't make you good at promoting yourself or networking with people, talking or handling finances or anything, does it? I mean,
putting petrol in your car, making sure you got clothes ready to go. There's a lot going on. Like I've got a really busy day today. I've got you, and then I've got a couple of afternoon things, charity shows, and an event tonight, and it's a busy, long day.
Yeah.
And normally, like if you're a comedian, you get up, you roll over, you have a bit of toast, you walk your dog, you write some jokes, you watch some daytime telly, and I could do that.
Yeah.
And then I could do 3 or 4 gigs a week, and I could just have an easy sort of simple life.
Yeah.
Kind of, I'll do cruises like a lot of comedians do now, go cruising and everything else. But I'm incredibly ambitious. I feel like I haven't fulfilled my potential. I feel like with having this change of kind of outlook in life because of the ADHD thing, I feel like I'm starting again in many ways. So I'm excited to see what that does. And, you know, I've had to put some things in place that I could talk about this sort of stuff for ages. I'm really into kind of like improvement and well-being now, and mindfulness and all that sort of stuff, which has come to me so late in life. Again, another reason why I wish I'd had a diagnosis years ago. Because I had a chaotic life, administratively wise, and losing things and all that. And it's all explained.
Yeah.
I know now why it is. I can't believe I didn't realize years and years ago. I bullet journal now. Do you know about bullet journaling?
No.
So people who might be watching this know what bullet journaling is. It's the guy came up with it. I think he's got ADHD, and it's just an amazing, brilliant, simple thing.
Yeah.
So one journal, a book, and you split that into kind of sections where you have you have like the year planned ahead, your month planned ahead, and then each day you have a list of tasks. Yeah. And it's just basically every day you make sure you see patterns. It's kind of hard to describe.
Yeah.
But bullet journaling, which I've dropped off recently, I'm back in again this week. You've got to do it. It's got to make the intention to make it. So bullet journaling, and a good start to the day, is secret of my success.
Right.
My success. Secret of my happiness. If I don't start well, the day falls apart.
Yeah.
And if the day falls apart, then that means my work life is chaotic. If my work life's chaotic, I don't make progress. If I don't make progress, I get depressed.
Yeah.
If I get depressed, I overeat. If I overeat, then I get lazy and fat. If I'm lazy and fat, I don't want to go to the gym. It's a real kind of thing. So kind of in the last, since I keep talking about this diet, this is not an ADHD podcast, but it's what it's turned into it to be.
Well, it's really interesting because I had Jill on a few weeks ago who teaches in the pupil referral unit, and there's they're specialists with ADHD, and said when there's an understanding and appreciation that you're not daft and you're not stupid, and you know, and there's a reason for it, and you understand why. So a lot of kids calm down and can self-regulate, and because there's an understanding of why, and you're not just that naughty
until
kid.
I knew. The weird thing is, like, I never thought I was daft or stupid because I knew I wasn't.
Yeah.
So it was really frustrating that I never thought. I'm so mad at myself now for not knowing. This is classic.
How can you not?
You know what I mean?
How can you know? You know.
So I kind of like tried to lose a bit of weight. I've lost a bit of weight. I go to the gym. So I have a sort of like little plan that I do weights 3 times a week. And on the other days, I go to the gym, even when I'm not doing the weights. I'll do a little bit of rowing or swimming or something, and then have the sauna and the plunge. I'm trying to do that every day. So that means when I wake up in the morning, I go to the gym. So it's not, I wake up in the morning, oh, it's a gym day. So every day that's what I do. And then it's not a thing. And that, for me, that works. If I can get some kind of order and simplicity into my life, I can achieve anything. I'm a frustrated minimalist. This is a really weird thing.
Yeah.
Is because I collect things and get things because that feeds some kind of idea of satisfaction that I want.
Yeah.
Which is dopamine and all that sort of thing. It's the point. It's the moment of purchasing that gives me the relief. It's a really weird thing. You know, I've had periods in my life where I've used fruit machines too much.
Right. Yeah.
All I've wanted to do is just get rid of everything. So it's over. I want it to be over because it feels horrible. Yeah. But it's just kind of, it's a, you know.
Feeding.
Yeah. So, I mean, people do different things because of the way the brains are set up, you know.
Yeah.
Really sad people who hurt themselves because they need to feel something. It's so kind of thing. But if I can, the one thing I need to learn is, now the medication works for me a little bit better, the one thing I need to learn is that if I have a bad day, it doesn't mean every day there is terrible and every day there's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
It just means that that day didn't work as like exactly as it should. But the bullet journaling helps me go, well, actually, look, this is what you wanted to do today, and this is what you actually did. So that's a win, that's a win, that's a win. And what do we do with that one? We just put that tomorrow, or put that for a different day. Because otherwise, my head's full of everything, and I can't do it. Without the medication, my head feels like 200 conversations at once. With the medication, it's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Not there yet, as you will have seen from this recording, but I'm getting there, and I'm not on the full dose yet. I don't think so.
No, it's really interesting how the brain works, and how I think there's a lot of business owners that are busy and might have quite a high stressful environment all the time, and they go from one meeting to another, and it's a bit of a seal of like, that it's a good thing. If you're a sportsman, you take time to recover so that you're at peak level for the next event. And that kind of thing for businesses, usually the next day.
Yeah.
And then, well, what do you have to do to get, I know if I have a beer the night before, motivation's not good the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm better if I exercise in the morning. I don't.
Yeah.
I know that I am better.
Well, you can do meeting after meeting after meeting, or you can do gig after gig after gig, or you can do podcast, then gig, then pod, then record. As long, if I'm planned, because I'm quite good at doing the thing in the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not good at sitting down for hours and doing one thing, so that's quite good for me. And if it's planned, it is great.
Yeah.
It is interesting. It really is.
So what have you got on now? What's the future? You'll see.
So we're recording this. I don't know when it comes out, but this is just before Christmas, 2025. Tour finishes in. I've got a few more dates on tour. It ends in about May, and then I'm writing a new show, which I'll do work in progress at Edinburgh next year, and then I'll announce a new tour in September next year for the spring afterwards. So that's good. My current project is to get my stuff filmed better and get that out there and try and increase my numbers, try and increase an audience, sell more tickets. That's what I do. My try and be a bit better on LinkedIn, and see, I find LinkedIn quite interesting. If I tell people honestly what's happening with an event I've done, and I tell people what I enjoyed about it, people like it. They like to know that things are going well. So I avoid discussing other people's things. So there's that. I've written a script. Well, I've written a treatment for a sitcom with a pal, and we've got that in a couple of places. I mean, if that happens, been down this road before. And it's never worked for me. But yeah, that's it really. And to try and get fit. And I want to do this forever. I never ever want to retire. Can't imagine what it's like to retire. I don't think I'll ever retire. I think I'll just maybe slow down. I'll be a stand-up till I can't stand up.
One thing I haven't asked, which it'll be the last question, which I wanted to more at the start, but I'm interested in like who was your favourite comedian growing up?
So I loved comedy. So when I was growing up, I liked the two Ronnies. I liked Billy Connolly. I liked Victoria Wood. I liked the young ones. I didn't really like Monty Python that much. I liked Dave Allen. I loved all comedy on telly, really. Yeah. Larry Grayson. My absolute hero is Les Dawson. Kind of a bit of a Les Dawson fan. I did Les Dawson on Mastermind.
Well, someone told me this, and I tried to find it online and couldn't find it.
No, is it not?
But I'd love to see that.
That was great.
That's your specialist subject.
Yeah, it's great. Do you know the thing is, because they tell you, I think especially, they tell you the reference books they're going to use, because a broad subject like that could be anything.
Yeah.
I was on Twitter and I was going, I'm doing Celebrity Mastermind about Les Dawson. Fire questions at me, and they just rang me and went, stop! Because every question that you get asked, we can't show.
Oh, no.
So I read all the sort of like literature they said, 4, 7 or 8 books they were going to go for. And I did all that. And then on the night of the recording, they didn't ask me one question that I didn't already know the answer for. Beforehand, I already knew.
Yeah.
I think I got one wrong in the specialist subject, because it's just that stuff I loved,
Yeah.
And then the general knowledge, comedians do all right on that. The camera's firing at you, you either crumble or do very well. Yeah, I did. So yeah. Now, who do I like? the most now, like John Mulaney, American comedian. In this country, like Stuart Lee's probably my favourite comedian. I think Stuart Lee's great. I like Jen Brister. Mary Godleman, I went to see her this year. She was very good. I also like things that are slightly like if you're a stand-up, you're watching it like with stand-up eyes, so you're kind of sort of seeing where it goes a little bit. So I like a bit of clowning and that. I like Spencer Jones and I like that kind of stuff like that. Frankie Monroe's quite a newish character done well. He's kind of good like that. Yeah, that's it really. I try not to watch too many stand-up specials because sometimes there'll be a joke that you go, that's a little bit like what I'm writing down, and I think people might think that I've nicked it, and I haven't. It's just coincidence.
Amazing. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Good luck with it all.
No
Not
worries.
that you need it, but
Thank you very much.
it's been a real pleasure, and thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.